Well, today we will discuss CAR and ER insurance. So, CAR and ER, most commonly known as Contractors All Risk and Erection All Risk, they are the classes of engineering insurance. Engineering, as you know, is one of the most technical subjects when number of policies are there according to the various requirements of the customers. Requirements in the sense depending upon the project and operations. So for different phases there are different policies. For different purposes there are different policies. And the wires are also different at the time when the project is started and when the operation is started. So the technicalities of these products must be known to you. Because whenever you are discussing about these policies, the buyers may ask some typical questions relating to the coverage, to the renewal, to the premium rating, to the exclusions of the policies. And you may be in trouble if your concept is not clear. So don't put yourself in such a situation and let us understand everything. I'm sharing with you. Is this visible to all of you? Your command is must on this project because otherwise you have to cut a sorry figure before your customers. And that situation we don't want. You are our representative there, you are representing the SGI, you are representing the company. In that case, your performance, your presentation, your convincing, your display of marketing skills must be in the best manner. So let us see what this is. Say the engineering insurance provides only the financial safeguard, or you can say economic safeguard. But for the projects which are ongoing construction projects, installation projects, machines and equipments in project operations. These three different situations could be there. And all these three different situations need the engineering insurance policies. In engineering policies you will find a wide range of risks related to engineering are covered. There are comprehensive insurance policies that offers economic safeguard against risk faced by ongoing construction, installation projects, and machines and equipments in project operations. Since the industry is about the creating and designing, construction and building, there are increased chances of reduced accidents and perils because all these things can happen together or stage by stage. Creations, designing, constructions, building operations, all these things are running into different phases. That means the engineering insurance policy caters to different forms of uncertainties that are associated with the on-site construction, including plant and machinery uses. So for all these purposes, there are engineering policies. Let us be specific about the CAR, that is Contractors All Risk. Why the person will require Contractors All Risk? Most commonly this is required by the contractors only who are associated with the construction projects. But today the need of this policy is increasing day by day. Why? Because India is among the fastest growing economies in the world, with an upbeat outlook towards rapid infrastructural development. If I'm saying rapid infrastructural development, I mean it. Because in any country where the rapid infrastructural development is there, you can judge it, you can measure it, you can see it through the projects like railways, industrial units, housing facilities, dams, flyovers, power plants, and other such construction projects are on rise. So any economy, any country, any state which is engaged very rapidly in all these activities like railways, industrial units, housing facilities, dams, flyovers, even road constructions, you can say that country is rapidly developing their infrastructure. But what happens with the rise in these infrastructural projects? There is a rise in material risk also. So the possibility of damage to the construction materials, machineries, constructed portions due to environmental and man-made hazards can lead to substantial losses for the contractors. Substantial means huge losses. Let's understand what the engineering policies are. So type of engineering policies you will see, there are two kinds of policies, annual policies and long-term policies. In annual policy, you will notice policies like contractors, plant and machinery, most commonly known as CPM insurance, electronic equipment insurance, EEI policy, machinery breakdown insurance, MBD policy, boilers and pressure plant insurance, BPP policy. These are all annual policies. But at the same time, there are long-term policies also, which are given normally to product insurance. And these policies are called CR and ER, Contractors All Risk and Erection All Risk. So basically, these two policies are long-term policies, but they are also branch of the engineering insurance. They are given for the projects, upcoming projects, you can say. So in terms of period, two classifications are there, annual and long-term. In annual, normally operation-related policies are there, and in long-term, normally construction-related policies are there, which are most commonly known as CAR and EAR. There is one more classification, and that is known as construction phase policies and operation phase policies. So in construction phase policies, you find long-term policies. These long-term policies are the same: CR, ER, marine income action, advance loss of profit. This ALOP is also known as the delay in startup, DSU policy. Advance loss of profit and delay in startup are the same policies. But they are all construction phase related. They are also known as the period policy or one-time policies. Other policies are operational phase. Operational phase related policies are known as annual policies. And they are the same: MBD, BPP, MLOP, CPM, EEI, deterioration of stock, civil engineering completed risk. So they are all operational phase related policies, and they are in terms of period annual policies. Operational phase means once the project had started, it has come into the operation, then you need the insurance policies, and which also those policies are called operation phase related policies. They could be multiple, because every specific kind of machinery needs a specific policy. For example, machinery need machinery breakdown, boiler and pressure plant need PPP policy, electronic equipment needs EI policy, deterioration of stock needs DOS policy, contractors plant and machinery needs CPM policy. So their needs are specific. But in construction phase, not much classification is there. Period of cover is another important factor in the engineering policies. Because work period and maintenance period and then operation period, they are all different periods. This coverage for everything is required. So the policy provides periods in different phases. Prime question is, what is the subject matter of CAR policy? What risk is insured? To whom this policy is given? Because CR may be taken out of the building and civil engineering projects like residential and office building, hospital, school, theatres building, production facilities, infrastructural facilities, airports, bridges, dams, tunnels, harbors. For all these purposes, we need CR policy. Whenever, wherever any such kind of project is undergoing, the contractors, the principals, or the owners will take the CR policy. The building could be for residential purposes, for official purposes, for hospital purposes, for school purposes. In addition to that, there could be a bridge, a dam, a tunnel, a harbor, even road. For all these purposes, CAR policy is required. That is why I am saying that India is a rapidly developing country, rapid infrastructural developments are taking place because all these things are in progress almost in every state. Now when you are giving a CR policy, you have to look at the period of cover also. When the risk will start, when the risk will end, how the risk will be renewed. And all these three aspects are very important. Because the period of cover starts from the commencement of the work or arrival of first consignment at the project site, whichever is earlier. Means out of any of these two circumstances, the period of cover of the policy will start. Either from the commencement of the work or arrival of first consignment at the project site. So when the cover will end? The cover will expire under three different circumstances. First, when the completed part thereof is taken over. Second, put into service. Third, date specified in the policy, whichever is earliest. Now all these three terms are different. When the project is completed and part thereof is taken over, means the contractor has given the part, the project to the principals or owners. Or the second is put into service after trial when it is to operate, to start operations. And third, when the policy has expired. So under any of these circumstances, whichever is taking place early, the policy will expire. If the policy expires, then what will happen? In case the work is not completed within the period specified in the policy, and policy expires, policy can be extended. It is not renewed. This is important to understand. In CAR policy, EAR policy, it is not renewed, it is only extended. because the project has not completed within the period specified in the policy. Since the project needs more time, maybe 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, the policy could be extended. There are projects which are completed in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Policy will continue on extension basis. But it will not be renewed because the terms and conditions of the first policy will remain as it is. Extension period is given. Now, how the CAR and ER will differ? Both are all risk covers. But the determining factor is value of erection and installation work. What does it mean? Value of erection and installation work is what? In the project, if the erection or installation work is more than 50% of the total cost of the project, in that case, erection all risk policy will be given. Or if in the project, the building construction portion is more than 50% of the cost, in that case, CR policy will be given. So the contractors all risk policy relates to the civil construction, while the erection all risk policy relates to the value of erection and installation work. It has to be clear in your mind. Listen again. If the construction of building part is more than 50% of the total cost, in that case, CR policy is given. But if the erection part or installation work is more than 50% of the total cost of the project, in that case, erection all risk policy is given. So there is a very minor difference between CR and ER, because both are all risk policies. Both are engineering class. Both are given for the upcoming projects. The nature differs only upon the value of erection and installation works. There are certain unique features of the CR policy. First, in majority of proposals there will be risk inspection by the company engineers. Because the huge cost is involved, long-term projects are there. Company engineer will inspect the risk. He will submit the report. He will comment on the acceptability of the proposal. He will also advise the risk factors for which insurance company can put them as the warranties or conditions. Secondly, duty of utmost good faith is prime here. Because the proposer has to declare all the material information, and material information means the information which is relevant to decide the acceptability of the cover and premium rating. If that kind of information is not declared properly, utmost good faith is not observed. In that case, insurance company is denied cover. Or if it is traced or found after the issuance of policy, in that case, ball is in the court of insurance company. If at all there is any loss, insurance company may deny the liability because the material information was not declared at the time of taking the policy. Policy can be issued in the joint name of two or more persons or two or more parties like principal, contractors, subcontractors. Almost all classes of engineering insurance are controlled by tariff, which prescribes standardized proposals and policy wordings. Means no company will interfere with the terms, conditions, wordings and clauses of the tariff. So basically these all engineering policies are similar to all the general insurance companies of India except pricing and add-on covers. In this policy, sum assured is adjustable because at the completion of construction on the basis of actual value, the sum assured can be adjusted. This is important because the projected cost and the completion cost, there could be difference of multiple times. Multiple times. Say suppose the contract is given in a city of Bangalore to construct a hospital. The projected cost of hospital is 100 crores. It's a 3-year project. Within 3 years, the hospital has to be delivered to the owners. But by the time the project was completed, the cost reached to 250 crores. Why? Because labor rates increased, material costs increased, environmental cost increased, availability of certain things was disturbed. Lot of factors are there. So by the time the project completed, the cost was 250 crores. Now the 100 crores sum assured will not work because these are the engineering policies and they are all subject to under insurance. So this has to be kept in mind. CAR policy applied to risk located in India, for which the value of civil works involved is more than 50% of the total contract value. That means if any project of the contractor is going on in any of the neighboring countries or out of India or beyond the Indian boundaries, that risk will not be covered under this policy. Maybe a contractor has taken a project in the Kathmandu or in say Colombo or in Bhutan. That is will not be covered under this policy. Risk location must be in India. And from it 50% of the total contract value, rather more than 50%, must relate to civil work. Civil work means construction work, not erection work. Principal, contractor or subcontractor can take this policy, but in addition, government contractors and government departments like road construction department, bridge construction department, building construction departments, they can take this policy. In addition, builders can take, developers of township can take. Because the risk covered under this CR policy is related to the civil work, that is construction work. And these all departments plus persons plus organizations are related to the construction works. Builders, developers, building construction department, Nagar Nigam, public works department, principals, contractors, subcontractors, they are all associated with the construction work. I show you the image. What kind of projects can take this policy CR? Road construction, residential building, industrial building. Now here you will observe the erection cost is not much. Plant and machinery erection or installation is not much. Construction cost is more than 50%. They are all subject to CR policy. Now what risks are covered under this policy? Material damage, section 1. Under this section, policy will provide the coverage against loss or damage. Though the policy is known as all risk policy, means except exclusions, every risk is covered. Second thing is third party liability. Now third party liability against loss, damage, construction, damages, destruction by any cause and third party personal injury is covered. So these are the two sections of the policy only. But the coverage of material damage, because the policy is always policy, coverage of material damage can further be divided in many heads. For example, the perils related to the fire policy, like fire, lightning, explosion, theft, burglary, windstorm, flood, inundation, earthquake, landsliding, rock sliding, subsidence. These are all fire perils. They are all covered. Secondly, construction faults, like defective material, workmanship, collapse, subject to exclusions. Subject to exclusions means if the collapse is not in the exclusion list, then it is covered. Workmanship, if it is not in the exclusion list, then it is covered. Then human errors, lack of skills, negligence of workers, and other perils like air crash, blasting. They are all subject to section 1, that is material damage, and these are covered because they are not specifically excluded from the policy. See another way wherefrom you can find out what kind of losses are covered under the policy. This is an actual image of the loss at the Delhi metro site where the construction was going on, ongoing project was there, installations were there, but less than 50% of the total cost. And when this loss took place, you can just imagine what kind of losses are there. Loss of life, loss of animal, loss of property, loss of planning, loss of everything. And this is a huge loss. Insurance company had to pay this loss under the CR policy, because this entire loss is coverage of the part of the coverage of the CR policy. Now, how to take or how to decide the sum insured of this policy is very important, because whenever you are giving this policy to any of the contractors or principals or owners, take it granted they will suggest a lower sum insured, but you don't advise them, because if they are taking a lower sum insured, they are the losers at the time of claim. Ask them to include everything which is related to the project. For example, if the machineries are imported, what is the landed cost at site? If the machines are purchased within country from any other place, what is the landed cost at site? What is the projected cost of construction? What is the permanent civil engineering work? And in addition, in all these heads, they have to include materials, cost of material, cost of wages, freight, custom duties, construction cost, and items supplied by the principals. And over that, half the escalated value. I give you just an example. 100 crores project. The cost can go 2 times, 3 times, 4 times when it is completed. So if the 100 crore project is there and you are taking half the escalated value, that is 50 crores, it means initially the policy should be taken for 150 crore if the project cost is only 100 crore. This will avoid the underinsurance. If the underinsurance is there, insured is the loser. Contractor will be the loser. So ask them before giving the policy to include everything related to the project. It should not be underinsured under any circumstances, but otherwise the insured will be loser. Because this is policy of subject to average clause. Now there are certain add-on covers which are available and you can sell them when you are giving this policy. And all these add-on covers are important because the contractors understand the utility of all these add-on covers. Though they are all voluntary, optional. But for every add-on cover there is a separate cost. These are third-party liability, surrounding property of insured, escalation, removal of debris, CPM and maintenance. Not shock on CPM. CPM is a separate policy, of course, of the engineering class. But since at the project side, the contractors are working day and night because of the time-bound projects. So the whatever machinery they are using, they are all covered under the CR policy as an add-on cover. If this add-on is taken, this will cover the risk of the plant and machinery of the contractor. So all these add-on covers are individually important as collection, removal of debris, maintenance, surrounding properties. Removal of debris is normally ignored, but this is most important. Most important in the sense because the contractors knows at any time any portion which has already been constructed, completed, finished, but on instruction if it is found, the measurement is wrong, there is a negligence of the worker, design defect is there, even the constructed portion can be destroyed, ruined, removed, and in addition then removal of debris costs are also there. So these all add-on costs are important and should be given with the policy. This is your duty when you are giving this policy to any of the brokers or the customers or the contractors. You must ask them to take the add-on covers because these add-on covers are equally useful. These all risks are not inbuilt risk of the policy. They are available only on payment of additional fee. Now this is a real image of the loss which is showing building under course of construction collapses. Say for example, this is a building of 6 floors. Now due to earthquake or due to flood or due to fire, 3 top floors collapsed. When the upper 3 floors collapsed, there is no guarantee that the lower 3 floors will be saved. They may be shaken absolutely till the plinth area. So this is also possible that the remaining 3 floors are to be destructed, removed. Then only the construction will restart. So under these circumstances, nobody can have any idea how many people are buried under it, how much loss has been caused to the animal, to the property, to the persons, to the machineries, to the building itself. This is such a typical scenery. But the huge losses are there. Nobody can ignore them. This policy is also excluding certain kind of risks. For example, willful negligence, loss discovered only at the time of taking inventory, loss or damage due to faulty design, any penalty or delay or non-fulfillment of the terms of the contract, cost necessary for rectification or correction of any error, or bodily injury to any employee of the or the workman of the contractor. This last one is slightly different because if there is any bodily injury or illness or death of the employees or the workmen of the contractors, that risk will not be part of this policy. Why? Because for that risk there is a separate policy that is called workman compensation insurance or employees compensation insurance, because that policy covers the risk of the workmen or employees of the contractor. There is an additional third party cover. Because this legal liability arising out of the property damage or bodily injury suffered by third parties on or near the project site is covered under the policy, but additional coverage can be taken. Only thing is, this cover cannot be granted during extended maintenance. Why? Because the insurer will not indemnify any claim from the employee or workman of the contractor or the principal owner or any other firm connected with the contract work or members of their families. For them also, third party coverage can be taken. Now see the another image of the loss. In Ghaziabad, building under course of construction collapses. 2 passerby killed. Passerby means persons going besides the building site. Now this is a liability. This liability is also covered under the policy. And you can just imagine how much losses are there, huge cost is involved in such kind of projects. Loss may be partial or total. Under both the circumstances, insurance company has to settle the claim. If it is repairable, repair or necessary cost to restore the property in the original condition immediately before the loss. Minus salvage, minus under insurance, minus policy deductibles or compulsory excess. The claim can be settled. But if it is a total loss, the actual value of the property immediately before the loss, minus salvage, minus under insurance, minus compulsory excess, will have to be settled for completely replacing it. So both partial losses and total losses are payable under the policy. At the same time, when the claim is settled, the sum insured will be reduced by the amount of claim. And there could be unexpired period of the policy. Say suppose the loss incident took place in the 3rd month only. So the policy will still continue for 9 months. And in the unexpired period of the policy, there could be another probability of the loss. Nobody can ignore it. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3. So if at all there are any loss after settling the claim, the sum insured is reduced by the amount of the claim settled. Then there is a 100% probability that the under insurance will be applicable. So to avoid such situation, the insured must reinstate the sum insured by paying the difference amount of the premium. Sum insured may be higher but not lesser. So normally what the insurance companies are doing when they are settling any claim under the policy, they are deducting the difference amount of premium to restore the sum insured also. And that is also again a good method. And this is in the interest of the insured only. So when we are giving a contractors all risk policy, the rating of that policy will depend upon the project type. What kind of project it is. For every project type, rate structure is separately decided in the CR tariff. In that tariff rate, this is the privilege of the underwriter to provide the tariff discount. But according to the nature of project, the tariff rate will apply. Because to the hospital the rate is different, to the roads the rate is different, to the industry the rate is different. Mid-term cover can be given. Mid-term cover means if in case the project has already started, policy can be given mid-term, but the premium shall be charged from the commencement of the project. This is a typical condition. That shall be done post taking declaration from the insured of non-loss till date and approval from underwriting department. Try to understand what this condition is. Suppose I am a contractor, I am constructing a stadium. My project has already started 5 months before. Lot of construction has already been done. I have not taken any policy. Now by principals who have given me the tender, they are asking to submit a policy for the tender value. Now for that purpose I have to take a policy from you. And because I am going to construct a stadium, the civil work, that is construction of building work, is more. So CR policy is required. Now after 5 months, the starting or the commencement date of the project, which company will give me the policy? Because if anything happens during those 5 months, any loss or damage has taken place, I'll immediately claim the policy if the policy is given to me. So no company will give. If at all any company is ready to give, what they will do? They will charge the premium from the commencement date of the project, means for before 5 months. From that date, the premium will be charged. This is one condition. And the second condition is, post taking the declarations of the insured for no loss till date. Means during these 5 months, there is no loss till date. That declaration I have to give in writing, then only the insurance company will be ready to give to me policy. So this is the way of giving the mid-term cover. Small term could be there. If the project is for 6 months only, for 8 months only, the small term policy can be given. But if the project is for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, in that case policy will not be renewed. This will be extended. Project does not complete in the given policy period, extension can be given. Insurer. Insurer means as a policy has been taken from one insurance company, extension cannot be given by another insurance company without taking the entire project premium. Listen attentively. I am constructing a stadium. I have taken a project 200 crore rupees. I have taken a policy from Bajaj, CR policy from Bajaj for that project. Now in 1 year, I have experienced my terms with the Bajaj officials are not good. They are not rendering me the good services. I want to change the insurer. So I want the extension, because the policy has expired, extension of that policy from you. Will you give the extension only? Policy is issued by the Bajaj. 1 year has already passed. Half of the work is already done. Still half of the work will be done. If I am taking the extension from you, will you be ready to give me? No company will. No company. And if at all the company is giving, the what condition would be there? Extension cannot be given by another insurance company. If it is given, then they will take the entire project premium for that year also. One good facility in this policy is that if the policy is for more than 12 months, in that case, insurers can allow the installment facility to the contractor. Premium can be taken in quarterly installments. If the contractor wants the policy only for the sake of submission to the department, because the tender is given on this condition that the policy will be submitted to the department. So they want to take the policy, but they want to pay the lower premium. For that, there is a provision in the tariff. But the condition is, the insured has to opt for the higher excess. 2 times of the minimum excess, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. Higher is the excess opted by the insured. Bigger is the discount given on the policy. Suppose contractor is ready to bear the 10 times of the minimum excess. In the premium, 20% discount can be given. 20 times compulsory excess he is bearing, 30% discount can be given. Now, along with the policy, there are certain clauses which are given, because the people who are dealing with these type of insurances and construction works, they are aware that different kind of losses can take place. For that, they can arrange. They have to arrange. Initially, at this stage only, what they will do? What will they do? Say suppose there is a clause called 50-50 clause. Now what is there in 50-50 clause? This clause is taken by the contractors while taking the policy Because after handing over the project to the principals or to the owners, they may find that some loss has already taken place, which was not in the knowledge, so it was not claimed from the insurance company. This can happen. Means the project was handed over to the owners in the month of January. And now in the month of April they find owners or principals. One portion is damaged. There is a loss of say some 15 lakh rupees. And that time it was not noticed. Now they are filing the claim on the insurance company when the policy has already expired. Do you think the insurance company will settle the claim? Policy is already over. Loss was not intimated in time. Now of course the insurance company will think it has been manipulated. Or the loss may be of the current date. It has not caused in the policy period. No company will pay it. And this kind of situations may arise at any time. So in the case of loss or damage to the property insured due to a peril insured against being discovered after the risk has been terminated under this insurance, and after properly investigation it is not possible to ascertain whether the cause of such damage happened prior to the termination of the marine venture or subsequently. So to cover such losses, this 50-50 clause is taken. If this clause is taken, then the insurer shall contribute 50% of the property adjusted claim amount. The remaining 50% will be borne by the insured himself. So this is again a good method, because for obtaining this clause there is no extra premium. But if it is taken at the time of the insurance only, then the insurance company will be ready to pay 50% of the liability, even if the loss is ascertained or found after expiry of the policy. So normally, the contractors ask for this clause, because this type of risk they may have faced on a number of occasions. Once you are giving or handing over the project, after a couple of days or after a couple of months, you are coming with an intimation that the loss was already there, it was caused in the policy period, it was caused in the before handing over the project. It has to be compensated, it has to be claimed from the insurance company. No insurance will. But this clause will provide this facility to pay the claim. There is another clause called 72-hour clause. This is also important. And the contractors takes this clause also. Why this is important? What is there? Sometimes what happens, due to an insured peril, maybe earthquake, maybe flood, maybe cyclone, losses take place. But the impact is so serious that the loss may continue on the second day, loss may continue on the third day, fourth day, like that. So once the loss is intimated to the insurance company and claim is registered, if at the same project, at the same site, or the same contractor, next day again some loss is taking place due to that same reason, and it is intimated to the insurance company will start a separate claim because that has taken place on the another day. And again on the third day or fourth day, if the same incident is happening, the insurance company will register a separate claim every day. And if there are separate claims, there will be application of compulsory access on each claim. So who will be the loser? Insured himself. I give you an example, try to understand. Suppose I am constructing a building as a contractor and 7 floors are already constructed. That's a 7th floor building. Now a severe shock of earthquake was registered. So the top floor collapsed. So as a contractor, I have intimated the insurance company. Insurance company surveyor came, visited, inspected the loss and took the photographs. But the shock of the earthquake was so severe that another day, one more floor fell. I again intimated to the insurance company. And a separate claim was registered. In continuation, third day also at the same location, at the same site, in the same building, due to the same peril of earthquake, because this impact was so severe, portion of next 2 floors was collapsed. So third day also I have intimated to the insurance company and the separate claim was registered. They were also surveyed, inspected, assessed by the surveyors. Now the important question is, because 3 different claims were registered with the insurance company of the same location, same project, same work, by the same peril. Since the dates are different, claims are different. On every claim, there will be a deduction of compulsory excess. And the compulsory excess in a CR policy is very high. This is in percentage. So the compulsory excess is going to be deducted on each claim separately. And this is a loss to the insured only. But if at the time of taking the policy, 72-hour clause is obtained, in that case, these losses took place within 72 hours will be treated as one loss. So for the purpose of application of any deductible under this policy, all physical loss, destruction of damage resulting from earth movements, rock fills and the like water damage, bushfire, subsidence, collapse, earthquake, typhoon, flood, storm and tempest, cyclone occurring each period of 72 consecutive hours shall be considered as one event. So the purpose of foregoing the commencement of the work, commencement of any such 72-hour period shall be decided at the discretion of the insured. So since the compulsory excess will be applicable at one time only, the contractor will set the amount. So this is a very good clause. Contractors may choose that. There is no additional period for that. And they are aware this type of clauses are there with this policy. So the CR policy is meant for contractors, owners, subcontractors, principals, wherever the construction project is going on and more than 50% cost is involved in civil constructions, means building constructions. This is all about the CR policy. Now you can ask the questions. If you have any doubts, you can ask.